Hey everyone, Megan and Ashton here in the Transcend Studio. Thanks again for joining us for the Energy Centers video series. Today we are discussing Energy Center number 4. It is the Heart Energy Center. So far in our series we have discussed the lower 3 energy centers that deal primarily with your material existence, and today we enter into the Heart Energy Center that starts to open up higher levels of consciousness.
So the heart energy center is directly correlated with the circulatory system and the thymus gland. And some people actually represent the high heart as another chakra center, but we're just going to focus on the main chakra center of the heart energy center. So it works with circulatory system, which is your blood flow. And that does things like moves water and oxygen energy throughout your body. It removes waste products through your kidneys, livers, and lungs. And it also carries important parts of the immune system to other parts of their body, cells, stuff like that. Health of the heart improves as we release traumas and emotional pain. So when we use, energy work or tapping or whatever to go back, we're working on the heart chakra because we're working on past traumas, memories, things like that to actually heal and release them so you no longer have a blockage there. Also, the thymus gland, which is above the heart, this gland initiates movement of the body's defenses during illness or injury. Again, that's where kind of your cells are created to disperse throughout your body to help with things. And if your heart is not in balance, some things you may or may not experience are heart attacks, angina, chest infections, asthma, frozen shoulder, also just things like pneumonia, which is a type of chest infection, but things like that, and it's usually related to illness and grief.
So the heart is known as the seat of your divine soul. The heart is the central connecting point that connects your more material nature with your more spiritual nature. So the heart energy center deals primarily with unconditional love. Up until this point, the energy centers have been focused around your connection with other people, even romantic and loving relationships with partners. And yet the heart it's a more all-encompassing, it's a more holistic type of love that is. And the heart really is more of a state of beingness than doingness. Some of the lower energy centers, we've talked about what it's like for them to actually take action and do something different in the world, whereas the heart is really focused conditionally, regardless of what they do, regardless of what they say, regardless of how they quote unquote make you feel, because that unconditional love you have for them, you start to recognize they're not making you feel any certain way. The other test that you're passing really is just offering compassion and forgiveness to people daily, hourly, even moment to moment, not harboring ill will or grudges or resenting. The heart is really this beautiful place that allows for our relationships to be what we've always imagined them to be, instead of sometimes what's showing up in our physical existence. So the more you pay attention to your heart, the more you're going to bring out the balance in it instead of the imbalance. When your heart's imbalanced, you might end up asking questions like, what's wrong with me? Why aren't I popular? Why don't they like me? You might end up asking the question, can I really connect and relate with other people? Do they really have respect for me? Can I have respect for them? And so ultimately these feelings and these questions that you have, if they continue to grow and build steam in your life, ultimately it will prevent you from appreciating others, and it will prevent you from being able to appreciate yourself. The unconditional love that flows through your heart and that you're allowing to flow through your heart, it ultimately will neutralize all of the negative energies that are trying to get in.
So what does a dysfunctional heart look like, or heart energy center? from other people. Without any strings attached, no ulterior motives. You just want to help people and spread that love and that feeling that you feel around the world with other people or beings. It doesn't even have to be people. It could be animals, plants, you know. You're magnetic. You're secure in your relationships and everything. Like you have that mentality that, you know, even if something happens, why it's really happening, not like ulterior motives that you put in your head that aren't real. And you also, it's impossible to not be affected by your positive energy. If you've been around people and no matter what, you can make them smile, like if they're having the worst day or whatever, you're probably living more so out of your heart chakra because people pick up on that energy, can feel that. And it's just magnetic, and like I said, you're a radiating individual and people just gravitate towards you. So it's dysfunctional. How do you balance it? Well, one way would be to wear colors like green. That's actually associated with the heart chakra. Another way would be to use certain crystals, specifically rose quartz. I have a bunch here. I have a rose quartz tower, a rose quartz sphere, just a tumbled piece of rose quartz, and then actually a raw chunk of rose quartz. Doesn't matter which one you use, they're all the same benefits. They're just different types that you can use for the heart chakra, and they work the best. You also can use like malachite, but I prefer rose quartz when I'm working with the heart energy center. So it's also at the key of F is what it vibrates at, which again, when we talk about our sound immersions, when you come in, if you have a session with Shelby, she would work specifically in her heart chakra using that crystal singing bowl that's tuned to the key of F to help balance and remove any blockages you may have. Other things that you can do are meditations, specifically ones for the heart chakra, or even self-forgiveness, self-love types of meditations would be good. Again, it's about forgiving yourself, coming back to yourself. And then also, you can come see me for a Reiki session or a tapping session. Tapping is actually really good for the heart energy center because we're going back and we're working on healing old wounds, maybe even from early on as childhood, and helping you heal and feel better about yourself.
Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Make sure to tune in to our next episode. We'll be discussing energy center number 5, the throat.